Hello everyone, it's Marie from Pinder Studios. In this video, I'll be talking about my history of Pinder Studios logo history, which is my logos. But before it's called Pinder Studios, it was named Risetti in the year of 2012, where I started my debut on DeviantArt at the time. After I graduated middle school, I came up with the name Risetti. It was Risetti Time 1998, where it's Ristar and Dynamite Heady all combined. And time is like, it's my time. 1998 is my birth year. Well, actually, time is like blank time. It's Marie's time or someone else. You get the point. Now, hang on. I've been hearing some banging around here. I'll wait. Let's get back to the topic and talk about history of Pinder Studios logos. The very first ever logo is Risetti from April 5th, 2014, which is known as the very first logo of Risetti before it was named Pinder Studios. Back then, I used to be a Windows Movie Maker video person, probably since 2008 through to mid 2017. Yeah, the animation is just transitions, pixelated, fade to white, and those basic transitions. It came from pixelated to flat to shade, which is the old shade I'd done like pencil tool. It was cool for its time when I used some Street Fighter sound effects, but it's pretty outdated due to the fact it's a recolor of Dynamite Heady, a game that was made in 1994 by Treasure and Sega. There's not really much to say about this logo. Let's move on. Oh, here is Risetti Studios. Subscribe! This logo, I was inspired by the @ symbol where you see on your keyboard right now and your phone, where it's with number 2. I was like, if there's an A existed, there should be an R, which is Risetti, and it has the ears and the beanie cap on. The beanie cap is like half cap, half beanie, which is beanie cap. It's a fade-in logo, and there's not much animation, and the logo looks pretty wonky. I didn't use curves. Again, I used pencil tools. While the PlayStation soundtrack is on, the first PlayStation. Now, the next logo is this thing. Yup. Higgles is winking at you, a Risetti Productions. This came from my old animation of Happy Tree Friends. It's nothing really, it's just Higgles winking, my old OC, which has now been revived this year. I changed him to a brown dog, like a real dog. It was pretty cute for its time, but again, it's still pretty flat, and the music I use from Nickelodeon Gas soundtracks, the bumpers. We'll talk about Nick Gas eventually, more in depth about it. Now we passed 2014, here comes 2015. The Risetti or Risetti cap, beanie cap logo is a green hat @ symbol and a yellow raccoon tail, which is my old persona used to name Miss Riss, Raycoon, other names. Riscoon. It was named Risetti too. The tip part of the hat doesn't even look right. It's not all curvy, instead of just all round like an oval, which it doesn't look right for the proportions of a hat. It looks pretty cheesy, out of place. Risetti is no more, and I'm starting to not like the name because it's starting to sound like a ripoff of Mr. Rossetti from Animal Crossing. When you say Rossetti, not Risetti, so I changed the name into my last name, just like Walt Disney. Fun fact, this came from 2016, Pinder Tunes, before it was called Pinder Studios. It came around in early 2016. I actually made an animation of this, but unfortunately it's completely lost and I should have deleted it. It's just your typical Windows Movie Maker intro, but this time it was like more detailed. The build up, the fox getting created, just like the Scimitar Entertainment logo. It blinks and the transition dissolves or breakage like glass, and it'd be like a Pendertune sign. The fox is not alone anymore. The fox is now in the box. Oh, I am so funny. And the audio I used, it was Dreamcast, the alternate soundtrack for Dreamcast, not the one that is the first one that you normally hear. After I watched that logo, it was pretty cool. Like, it's more detailed while I edit it. I wish I show it to you, but I found this Pendertunes logo pretty nice for its time. Oh no, not nice. Great. Now let's go to the next one, which is my least favorite. Pinder Studios is no longer Pinder Tunes because I decided to make studios is for everything, not just cartoons. And I got the name Pinder Studios. This one I did, it's like I'm not even trying. All I did is the slides in, and there you go. It's just a simple, only one animation from Windows Movie Maker. But I did like the design where it's shaded from the left of the fox and the hat that looks like a cell shaded game. So I give it props to that, to have more effort than the animation itself, the logo design. 2016 has ended. Now we're going to 2017. Oh, that mask. Oh, this is where I used to like the mask design, where I used to be AF Fox. It doesn't even look right for my logo. I thought it would came out great, but having a mask symbol as my company, it gives my company a cheesy image and tedious, boring, just seems like a messed up Iron Man Mark 1. Choppy shade animation where it shines the mask. Yeah, I had nothing else to say about this logo. 2017 and May 5th. Oh, April 5th, May 5th, we are rebooting the logo. You see the text of the logo, then smash together. You see a triangle halves. You get the geometric sign of Pinder Studios. This logo came off as a vote of which logo design I should choose, and someone picked this PDS thing, look a bit geometric, so they choose it because it's the best one out of all of my other logos. I didn't want it to be just a text. I would like to add it some more variety and detailed. Ever since I've loved the channel, Nickelodeon's sister channel, Nick Gas, so much that I created a similar like logo to it, which is PDS, Pinder Studios, a sea green and pink color to make it look like a 90s triangle, because I do like the 90s and old years. Even though I'm not a 90s kid, I'm a 2000s kid. Out of all logos I've had, this is the first Sony Vegas animation I made for my logo. I still like it because of its music. It only has like 3 jingles of bells. It goes from lower to higher, and it sounds pretty chilling. Before we're gonna go continue the logos, I'm gonna have a quick talk about Pinder Tunes. After the first Pinder tunes didn't last very long, I have this Pinder tunes of 2017. The concept of this logo have this squiggly lines and it forms into a circle, then to a fox. I've decided to change that because it looks similar to you know who, Woody and for. The September 2017 Pinder Tunes logo, I hate it so much because it lagged so badly when I rendered that video on Vegas. It's a sped up version of Crash Pinder, my Audacity song before I moved to LMMS. Luckily, I changed it into Pinder Tunes, like this hammer and tire thing. But I changed it because it looks so corny. Well, I don't even know what to do with my animations logo. You can say Grumpy Beast didn't last long either. It's pretty short-lived. Alright, after that commercial break, sort of, we're coming back to the logos. Now here is this logo from 2017 of September. The PDS moving along to find a triangle and it looks for it and come back to it. It's pretty hilarious to came up with that idea. Fades out again like it's always was. Man, I've been doing some fade out whites all the time. You know, like flashing. And this text animations that came from Vegas is the Pinder Studios. Really love that sliding though. While the background is redundant, it's too basic. And the shading of this logo is MS Paint and it doesn't even look right for a shade. Unsettling to look at for people who has eyesores easily. Pinder Studios, January of 2018. Two triangles move along and they form into Pinder Studios. It flips over after they form together. I find this okay despite it has some flaws where the triangle's flipping so randomly, shaking around like where am I supposed to go? Is that thing crazy? While I use Prism Entertainment soundtrack as the logo, but the only difference is I use effects. I filtered the beginning part, left the end unedited, and then you'll hear NES sounds or 8-bit. Pinder Studios, March 2018. Let's move on to that. The sparks emerges, green and pink. They form again, just like the triangle. Whoosh! The logo has been created. A beautiful logo with the music sounds so energetic, which is one of my favorite soundtracks I created. Yes, I use LMMS to make my own original songs for my logos. Uh-oh. There's an error. The pink sparks, this pink square of fade, makes the logo entirely has a flaw and people can notice that. I should have rechecked and make sure I don't see it, but there's no going back now. It's a great logo, better than my previous, but unfortunately it has one flaw that people see and it makes it tragedy to look at. Not too tragedy, just a little. There are two logos I'm going to talk about. December 2018 to early 2019. Now these logos, they have the same soundtrack, which is another song composed by me. It's more a bit smoother, whatever you say that genre. These logos only moves like pans, zooms, and yeah, I changed to Pinder network at the time. Well, people still call me Pinder Studios, I might as well change it back to Pinder Studios. The backgrounds, they seem pretty alright. Where the TV channel static is broken and the other is a swirling checkerboard. Let it pass. Pinder Studios intro of March 2019. I record a background where it's my backyard. Move the camera up to the sun, then you'll see space, and Pinder Studios just came. I heard few people say this is the worst logo I ever made, even though that person haven't given me complex criticism. I have to agree because that logo doesn't seem like another good effort, just like the one I made previously as the Pinder Studios 2016 logo, mid-2016. It just offends people and a disappointing logo. This is the last soundtrack I made for my logos. You'll hear a piano plays and the bass drops, but unfortunately the full song has been lost because I had the file. I couldn't release it in time because my laptop was all acting up and I had to reset it, a hard reset. I couldn't be able to release the full song. You only just hear the short version. I may remake that song one day as long as I remember. Moving on to my last logo, and it's today, Pinder Studios logo, July of 2019. And this new logo I created, I tried to make it more experimental and has a lot of RGB squares for the black and white triangle and change it to a color. And the Pinder Studios transition just changed into Pinder Studios text. Those were from inspirations from other logos like VHS's. And by far, it's my personal favorite logo, my current favorite logo I'm using, and I'm not going to make some new logos until like 2020. It's an amazing, fantastic, remarkable logo that I even put it there as a new videos for my previous. Also, by the way, I've used the soundtracks of VCI, and I also forgot to mention Pinder Studios 2017 logo. You hear the sound that came from RCA Columbia Pictures VHS soundtrack too. The reason why I haven't used my original songs in my current logo because my LMMS wasn't working right. So I just have to move to another music program if there's any good ones. That's all the logos, and I finished this video. This has been a cool ride for me to talk about my logos with a commentary instead of just, boring text where you see in all videos. Well, not every text is boring to read as long as it's not too long. Be sure to stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr for more updates and artworks. Yeah, I do artworks too. It's Marie from Pinder Studios, and thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I wanna cuddly, cuddly,